Hello everyone, it's me and Fee here, back again for another midweek musings. Yeah, just jumped on. How are you doing, Fee?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You?
Yeah, I mean, I'm incredibly tired, so please bear with me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell from my eyes. I'm just like so tired, so tired. But we are quite busy at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's kind of really kicked off, like again, in a really good way.
Yeah.
But we've just suddenly got a lot on, which is all very good. But yeah, it's like long days and into the nights at the moment. So there's a bit of incoherent babbling, like more than usual.
I was gonna say more than usual, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what do we want to start with? We've got a few things down to discuss this week.
I would say let's jump in with just a reminder for anybody out there in the UK about the Unite for Freedom March. It was due to be this Saturday, but obviously because of the widespread kind of rail network strikes, it's caused huge amounts of problems for people getting up there. So it has been rescheduled. It is now next Saturday at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. It's all over social media, but I think because we're being so shadow banned at the moment, it's maybe not getting through to everyone. But
yeah, the protest posters are definitely being shadow banned. When you look in comparison with other posts, the things that kind of show up in feeds, it's just not coming up. So please do. There is a post in the group. There's a post on my profile, on your profile. Please share it out. Make sure that everybody knows that there is no protest in London on Saturday. It is rescheduled. And yeah, hopefully people can make it on the 2nd. I remember, you know, it was a year ago, we hit the million, didn't we? We had sort of over 1 million people in London. It was incredible. And we have sort of seen, haven't we, this year particularly, I think, where we've had our restrictions kind of just stopped, that sense of urgency and whatnot has kind of dissipated. There hasn't been such a good turnout, but it would be absolutely brilliant to kind of, you know, at least get further up towards that again, and really kind of show you know, that we're not backing down, especially with the protest bill being passed. I heard this morning from one of my friends that has now been passed. So I think for me, certainly there's even more of a, you know, it's even more important to go to show that, you know, that completely just, I mean, what can you say about that bill? It's ridiculous.
It's a measure of how desperate they are, and for those that say, "Oh, protesting doesn't work," if that was true, that
they wouldn't be trying to stop them.
Not have even been thought up of. That there'd be no point, you know. So protests do make a difference. That's why they've done that. And I think anytime someone tells you you're not allowed to do something, no, that's when you're going to step up and do it. So yeah, it would be great to have bigger numbers. Also, there's the empowerment fair afterwards. So you've got that. I think the numbers may have reduced, but I do think you've got the plus side where we've got far more going on in the communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there are a lot of people who've kind of shifted over to that community focus. So yeah, it's a very good point. I do think it's important for me anyway. I do think it's important to be doing both.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the pushback and the kind of, you know, manifesting and creating, you know, what we want to see. Absolutely. But yeah, for me, it's still very important that we don't kind of, you know, allow this stuff to be passed through, at least without a fight anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got that sort of nice mix of the two at this protest. Like I said, the empowerment fair, you have schools of people with, you know, all kinds of projects and initiatives and things that are going on within local communities that people can get involved in. So when you go home from the protest, you've got stuff to kind of carry on with at home, which actually kind of segues nicely into our community matters Get that? Community matters. It's not just hat racks. It's our new interview series, which we've just started, which is, again, that's like showcasing local and national projects, initiatives, different groups, just all the things that we can get involved in to benefit our local communities. Yeah, did you want to say a bit about that? Now my mind's gone blank.
My mind's not much better, to be fair, but yeah, the aim of it is really, I mean, we've spoken about it a few times on our previous musings, but it is, you know, very much you know, a way of really getting the word out there that there's so many of these projects in kind of all areas. You know, people have identified different areas. You've got schools, food growing, education. That comes under schools, doesn't it? See, my brain's not very good either. But yeah, like, you know, lawful kind of areas, social, health, all that kind of thing. And it is basically kind of trying to spread the word about these, inspire you, encourage you to kind of get involved in whatever floats your boat, really. There are so many options. And really kind of just, for me, listening to these people that are heading up these initiatives and their plans and what they're doing, and hearing, you know, how communities are getting involved and how they're growing and stuff, I do find it, you know, it brings me a lot of hope. You know, a lot of hope for the future, because there is, you know, we're still being bombarded with, you know, all of this, you know, from both sides, from both, you know, the kind of freedom community and from the media. There's still a lot of negative, this is coming, be afraid, and kind of, you know, focusing on you know, the various parts of the agenda that are playing out. And, you know, if you allow yourself to kind of delve into that, it can bring you down. And I think what's really needed at the moment is really a focus on how much hope there is, and how much and how many people are really kind of, you know, pushing their boundaries, and going outside their limits and getting involved in these projects, and really, you know, working towards a better future. So that's very much, you know, the aim of it. We've got some really good ones lined up, haven't we, Fee?
Yeah, we have. We've just finished an interview with peacekeepers. That was Steve. So that's, yeah, but all the information will be there for people that want to get involved. That's obviously, we're looking at common law, how to actually become a peacekeeper. I can't remember if they call them constables or peace constables.
There is an option. There's an initial training course, and then there's another one that you can go on to be peace constable.
That was it, yeah. So that's we've completed that one. We'll be chatting to dear friend Campbell from Down for Freedom. They've done so much all over Britain, bring people together. It's all about, you know, our mental health, keeping that frequency of joy, coming together. So that would be a really good one. It would be nice to catch up.
Power of music and music together in a community. Yeah,
and
of course they're supporting a lot of the super stands that are coming up as well. They've been brilliant.
Yeah, they've been like really integral part of just bringing more standards together as well. So yeah, that's a great one. We've been chatting to Scott from the Freedom Food Project, Growing Together Freedom Food Project. Really great. I'm very, very excited about this one. Yeah. And
PHA, People's Health Alliance. We've got one booked in with them.
Yeah. Lovely Steve Pollard from Awaken Pages and the Good Food Project.
And Awaken Jobs.
Awaken Jobs, he's doing so much.
He is a busy man. We've not got a date pinned down yet, but we've got a commitment that he will. So yeah, we're very excited to talk to him as well.
Yeah. And just, yeah, I mean, there's the great thing is we've got so many things to choose from now. I have noticed this year that things have just suddenly gone boom. Like the whole community initiative stuff has just really started to flourish, and that was kind of, it was always the hope, you know. So we got going with the stands, get the people together to begin with, let everyone kind of have that, oh wow, we've got our tribe, we can feel that relief and know that we've got others around us. But there was always going to be that, okay, what now? And we've seen tremendous outreach, really getting the word out there. And then you're again, okay, so what next? And this is it. It's always been about building the communities, the society that we want to live in. And we're definitely seeing it happen. So everyone should take heart. I know there's a lot of stuff to feel fearful about, but when you see what's actually happening out there, and it's so widespread, and I don't think there's probably no town left where there's not something happening. It is spreading. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite a long series, actually.
Well, I mean, the longer the better. And obviously, we did want to say again, we've said it before, but we'll say again, if you are aware of any projects, if you run one, or if you just want to recommend one that we could perhaps approach and see whether they want to have a chat with us and get the word out there. We're really, you know, there's only so many we can kind of, you know, make ourselves aware of, and we're aware, you know, we're probably just scratching the surface, to be honest. And, you know, it'd just be great to, I don't know, have a never ending, you know, run series of people coming on, giving encouragement. That's what it's all to say. Please do get admin at standinthepark.org and just kind of, you know, let us know of anything that you think would be great to kind of put out there and tell people about. And we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. So there's that. I'm just looking at my little list here. Oh yes, so we've got,
I want to be organised.
Oh, terribly organised. A Stand in the Park freedom parties. Hopefully you will.
Yes, it's Brady's baby, isn't it?
Yeah, Brady's baby. So it's his birthday actually on July the 16th. He happened to be going to Sydney, and then thought, oh, okay, get back to the stand and have a bit of a shindig. And then the idea has just sort of grown from that. So why not extend it to all the stands around the world? We believe that we deserve to celebrate our stands and each other and everything that we've achieved. Our commitment to standing in freedom and truth. It's been a hell of a 2 and a bit years, and and it would be great to have stands just coming together for a bit of a party, really. So if you want to get yours on the list, advertise, you can email me. It's Sophia, SOPHIA @standinthepark.org, and we'll get you added onto the promo stuff, onto the posters. If you're going to have a house party, obviously you're not going to want addresses on there, so that's fine. Just let us know which stand you're, because it's just nice that people know that you're having it, really. But it could be a pub, like a little room in a pub, or just like meeting in the pub. It could be a house, garden, park, you know, whatever. So there's that.
Yeah, sort of, you know, group of just being in that joy frequency and connecting. No, I think there is something quite nice, and it's one of the things I love about the Sunday mornings is that however many people are actually at your stand, you know, where you are, you know that all around, you know, here obviously the UK, but there's the time difference obviously, but essentially all around the world there's people in parks making that same stand. And it's the same idea with these parties, knowing that, you know, there's people all over the world kind of just really kind of, you know, enjoying themselves, having a bit, celebrating,
Yeah.
being alive, being free, being sovereign, connections, community, all that jazz. Like, yeah, it's really nice, I think, you know, knowing that there's people everywhere sort of doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think we deserve it. I think, you know, you always have the naysayers go, oh, how frivolous. All these terrible things happening. That doesn't mean that the worst thing you can actually do is to just cut off all joy, because that's exactly what they want. They couldn't be happier with that. You know, if you take everything really deadly seriously, and we're doing that pretty much all the time. I think every now and then it's okay to kind of let your hair down and actually celebrate the wins, because there have been a lot. Things could actually be far,
Have.
far worse. It's only because people have stood up and continue to do so that we're not, you know, living in bloody gulags. So I'm all for it. We're all for it, and it would be lovely to hear from anyone who's going to have a little bash. Be really nice. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, there is something, you know, to be said for to really kind of just live your life. Like, I get, you know, don't get me wrong, I mean, we talk about balance all the time, and I think that is literally the key word. It's what I talk to my children about when it comes to, you know, pretty much anything in life. You know, there needs to be balance, and if you spend your entire life completely 100% focused on the fight and the war and the battle that we're facing, it's very good. You wear yourself out. It brings down, you know, your mood, your frequency, and I think there definitely needs to be a balance where, you know, you give yourself a break and you go, do you know what, I've been working really bloody hard, so I'm just going to let my hair down and I'm going to enjoy myself, and yeah, just enjoy being alive for a little while, you know, take your mind off it for a bit. I think it has to happen. Otherwise, you know, this is that all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy, or whatever that saying is.
I think anyway, even when you are focused or, you know, just mindful of the, you know, the bad stuff, you can still approach it in a joyful way, if that makes sense. If you're coming from, okay, I'm very aware of this, but you're very empowered. So if it's outreach, you're doing it from that place of love and empowerment, and not fear. You're not actually feeding the beast, and it's not draining your energy. If you were, you know, for example, going out leafleting, but it's with that real, everyone's got to know, my God, you know, real panic, you're not helping. Actually, you're actually contributing to the problem unwittingly. But if you are doing it from that place of love, and we've got this, we're not going to just stand by and allow this to happen. The same with protesting. The huge ones were really joy-filled events, and that's why people would draw the energy. You know, when you've got really angry people, aggressive, it switches people off, and it makes a very real impact energetically. So it's not about being silly and frivolous. It's about being aware of what you create with your own energy. So it, like I said, intention, yes. So even if you are looking at all of these, you know, terrible things that they've got plans for us, you don't have to be absorbed in fear and despair, but you're just like, right, that's what they're planning, this is what we're doing to counterbalance it. And it will always be about the energy and frequency. They're coming at us with hate, fear, destruction. We fight back with the exact opposite. So it might sound counterintuitive, but it's not at all. Yeah.
I fully subscribe that love and peace is the key to it all. And I kind of think the protests for me, they've always been really high vibe, really joyous energy. And although everyone knows why they're there, and obviously you are protesting, you are showing your disdain for what they're doing, but it's very much this kind of everyone's coming together, and this joy of seeing so many kind of like-minded people that have got the kind of courage and the to really kind of stand together. And there's always been a lot of love and a lot of really good positive energy, and I come away from all of them just feeling amazing. It kind of puts me on a real high. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, same. And that's exactly what they don't want. They would, powers that should not be, as I call them, would love. They absolutely love to see people raging on the streets, really aggressive, really violent and angry.
Kicking off, giving them all the excuses they need.
Yeah, and just to see people, they understand completely energy and vibration. What they do not want is people coming together in love, because when you're in a state of love, you cannot be in fear. And that's what they want us in 24/7. It's fear, because you're reduced, you feel powerless, you feel like a victim. Our power lies in the exact opposite of what they want to bring out in us. So it's not weak, it's not silly. Love is not some kind of, like weak response to love and peace. Oh yeah, what's that going to achieve? It's absolutely, it's the most powerful thing. It's what
it is when you're in a spiritual war, which is what we're in.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people are hopefully kind of grasping that this is, to me, it is almost a fight for our soul, a fight for our humanity, kind of squeezing every last drop of that out of us, and slaveless I can't say that word, automatons. But
yeah,
and the very act of not being that is the most powerful thing. I think I see people saying we need to go and violence and storm places and be attacking people, and for me, it's aside from the fact that I don't really have angry. I have frustrated and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really do real anger. It's not an emotion that is kind of natural for me, and I don't kind of feel it, but I do firmly believe that actually the way we do win this is by love, peace, setting an example, and doing what we want to see, because that in itself will attract more people to us, and obviously we know it's a numbers game.
And when you've got millions and millions of people standing in that power, it doesn't mean that you're just going to be battered senseless and shouting love and peace as you're beaten to the ground. That isn't love and peace. That's not what we're talking about here. It's not some passive state where you just let anybody. It's not that at all. If you're truly standing in real love and peace, it's like a force field. And a lot of people, they're stopped in their tracks because you're not giving them anything for them to attack. Once again, it is this energy that we're talking about. So yeah, that's always been the stance that we need to take, is to just not give them what they want, which is to respond from a place of fear and panic. It's going to happen at times, of course, but if on the whole we're really standing firm in that inherent power, it wins out every time, every single time. So yeah, that's my bit on the math side.
Me and my daughter do that to each other all the time.
So I think we've probably rambled on enough for today. Is there anything else that we need to get out there?
I don't think so.
I think that's probably it.
I think so. That's all that was on your list, wasn't it?
It was quite a short list, actually. I needed to make the list because I would have forgotten. But yeah, I think we've covered everything. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for our first Community Matters interview on Friday.
I think it's 6 o'clock. We're going to put it out there, and then it'll be every Friday for the foreseeable. We'll be putting different interviews out there with different people doing different things.
Yeah, like Sam said, give us a shout. It is exciting. Give us a shout if there's something you've heard of, or people, or whatever initiatives and groups that you'd like us to approach. And yeah, we'll do our best to get just as many people on as possible. So watch this space. Have a lovely rest of the day, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, much love to everyone out there. Keep up the good work, everyone.
Love you lots. Bye.
Bye.